So today we're with the man himself, Mike Miedler. Man, you have a presence. You know that, right?
It's good to see you, my friend.
Likewise.
I'm surprised they got you all the way out here to the East Coast because usually folks from California don't leave California.
They don't? Well, I do.
Especially when it's raining, especially when you got weather like this.
Check this out. It rains, we're in awe. Don't let it be an earthquake, right?
Exactly.
Anything above 5.5, we're like, whatever. So many things happening on with the brand. It's always a pleasure to speak to you. But I guess here's one of the questions maybe a lot of people tend to ask is, Century 21, next 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
How do you see the future?
Look, I'm excited about where the market is headed, right? I mean, I think if you look at the industry at large, we've had what I would call a little bit of a roller coaster ride. You've had the big ups and then you've had the big downs, and we're in a unit constrained market right now. But I feel like a lot of the fundamentals from a rate perspective, from an inventory perspective, it's funny, I keep hearing the saying, it's a Goldilocks market. Not too cold, not too hot. And I think that's okay. I think that's okay for consumers, and I think that's okay for agents. Because one, as you know, because you teach us all the time, you got to have a higher skill set from an agent perspective in order to really succeed. And that's a good thing for our industry because the strong survive and you get a better customer experience. I also think it benefits both buyers and sellers. And so, you've got, you still have this lock-in effect, right? Because so many people still have rates that are below 4% even. And that over time will eventually play out naturally just through life happening. But with that said, I feel like it's just more of an even-keeled market. Now, I'm excited from a Century 21 perspective because we got so much stuff going on. We're investing so heavily, not just in our AI, but our tech, our marketing, as you know. We continue and have to continue to maintain our most recognized and most respected. You and I talked about this before, but we're the original disruptors in this real estate business. And, as much that changes in the industry is as much that stays the same. And I'm excited by some of the coaching that we're doing, some of the training that we're doing, that we're bringing agents in order for them to improve their business. And honestly, I think with the advent of AI and what it's doing, for us as human beings in general, I joke around, like any questions I have, I ask AI now, right? Like that's our first go-to. And so I think it will eventually help our great agents be better from a marketing and operations perspective and allow them to, get to our consumers and serve their needs quicker as, real estate professionals. So I'm excited for us to be able to bring that to our professionals to help expand their business.
Leading the pack.
We really are. And I think, it's been a stated goal of our parent company anywhere. And I think we're the ones with the scale and the size to do it.
Yes. It's so beautiful when you hear the brand Century 21. To me, it just established rapport right away. Automatically. And not just here at the local level, but I'm talking about worldwide.
So, I was just at NAREP at Avance in your backyard in San Diego, a little down the road from you, obviously. But, if you think about us being in 80 plus countries, 135,000 sales professionals. I said this at Avance. Here in the U.S., we're not just the most recognized and most respected, but also with the Hispanic consumer, who will eventually be 70% of the net new home buyers in this country between now and 2050 are going to be Hispanic, okay? And it's a younger population. It's driving the demographic here in the U.S., and we are in all of the Spanish-speaking countries. Like, we've got that marketplace, and we've got that coverage, and we have those professionals to help serve those communities. And so, it is a worldwide thing, and it's a global thing. And it's taken us 50 years to build it, but it is one of the true differentiators for us, as you know, Jesus.
Here's the thing. I think a lot of people ask this question, and I have it written down here. What advice do you have for agents who are looking to grow their production and stand out in today's market?
I'm going to ask you that. So I have a couple points, but I know you and I are cut from the same cloth. We're probably mentored and coached by some of the same people. What would you say? Well, and then I'll give you mine.
You know what? It's interesting. Obviously, we're doing a podcast. But besides that, there's nothing like you actually knowing your market. Like, you want to know how many active listings are available, how many pendings are, how many closings, what expired. But more importantly, I think what stands out more is today's skills. I think skills is something a lot of new agents just want to pass by. They want to skip to the front of the line. Yes, you might have nothing wrong with social media, right? But what happens when the rubber meets the road? Client calls you and will ask you one question. You might be able to answer it. But what happens when you're in front of them?
I couldn't agree with you more. I think people get into real estate because they feel like they really love houses and they love the thought of showing a consumer through the kitchen and the pool area and all these fun things that are associated with real estate. But it goes back to this is a skills-based business. And you and I have talked about this. You've got to ask the right questions and you've got to be well scripted and words matter and you need to know what to say. And in order to do that, to your point, you got to practice the skills, man. You got to coach the skills. You got to hang around people who get the skills.
They call it run the play.
Yeah, and run the play.
Run the play. When I'm actually role playing with my agents, I said, today we're going to run the play. We're going to actually just talk about think it over. And let's run the play 10 different ways with different personalities. Because there's different personalities out there, right?
Without a doubt.
You run the play so when you're in front of obviously a client, it seems to me that the more you do it, it seems like slow motion. You're able to read the play and you know where they're going with it. And to me, I think that's the art of negotiating.
It's interesting because you and I are both sports fans, and we're now into football season, and you watch the NFL and you watch these elite athletes operating at such a high level. But what people don't see is they're running the play all week long, 24/7. Not only are they running the play, they're studying the play.
Correct.
And then they're studying the other team's play.
Yep.
And the amount of preparation that these high-level professionals, whether it's professional sports or our business or our industry, are doing in order to prepare it's intense.
It's very intense. And that's what's something I like about Mike Ferry, that I look up to that man. I mean, you talk to him, the script does not change.
It doesn't.
And you get fascinated. I mean, again, if you're a student of the game, you're just fascinated by someone like him. But you also get fascinated of realtors out there that really practice every single day.
Yeah. The best do. And to your point, I mean, you and I are, when you think about Mike and you think about just kind of like being at his 50-year retreat this year, for 50 years, he says he's learned these things, and they haven't changed in 50 years, right? Those skills that you're talking about, the caring for the customer, the asking the right questions, the being ready, all those skills don't play out in this business.
What was your first script? I have to ask you, what was the first script you learned?
So believe it or not, I was coached by Mike from, I'm trying to think of the year, it was probably 2014 to probably 2016, coached by Mike personally. And Mike taught me a lot of great questions to ask people in general. But I think the one thing that Mike really taught me and made sure that as even a leader that I was completely in alignment with is about time management, right? Because I think time management is so important for, us as people in general, but more importantly for professionals who want to operate at a high level. And if you're making sure that you're managing your time so that you are spending a good portion of your day on revenue producing activities, everything else will fall into place. And so, that's one of the skills that I'll never forget from Mike, that I try to make sure I'm practicing and have good discipline on. But it's so true in our business and in life in general. Whether you're a doctor, a lawyer, whatever it is, you got to be spending your time appropriately where it matters most for the line of business that you're in.
I love that. I'm always telling people, we don't get time back. We either invest it or someone's going to try to waste it from you. You got to be careful with that.
It's the only commodity that we all have limited amounts of, right?
Literally. You couldn't have said any better. Yeah. What are you most proud of Century 21 agents and the brokers that have accomplished this last year?
Yeah, look, I think, when you talk about just all the rapid advancement and evolving that our industry has done here in the last 24 months plus, to to me, I'm most proud that our agents have stayed the course and that they continue to prove the value that they have in the real estate home buying and selling process. And I say this all the time. We've been measuring feedback from our customers for decades. And, I continue to see the ones that are really intentional about that customer service, about the experience that they give, about what we refer to as their quality service efforts, wind up doing more business. They get more repeat and referral business. They have longer longevity and loyalty from their customers and spheres of influence in this business. To me, it's the reason that we're one of the most respected in the industry is because of that client service and what they do and how they put that first. So, I mean, you can talk about, commission lawsuits and things that occurred. I think the consumer has really spoken about the value of the agent because they're willing to pay us for ushering them through the largest transaction that they'll make in a lifetime.
I've seen you in leadership. Is it 14 years, I heard?
So I have been part of the brand for like 27. It will be my 8th year coming up in January as president and CEO, which has been, as you can imagine, a wild journey for me, and it's one I'm really proud of.
I tip my hat off to you. I see you up and down, and every time I see you, you're just full of energy. What's the secret to that?
You know what it is. In fact, you're doing the marathon on Sunday. You're here in the East Coast. You're going to get back home. You're going to run the marathon. You're bouncing back and forth. You're here at Exchange in the Carolinas. You're going to go up and do some classes in New Jersey. I mean, I think the secret to having energy is to stay active and stay busy and make sure that you're doing something for yourself every day. I mean, we wake up and we lead. Whether we're agents or leaders in a brokerage and coaches, whatever it is, we're constantly leading, but you got to make sure that you wake up in the right mindset and that you take a little bit of time to reflect inward and do something for yourself so that you can, serve others. I think that's the key.
Please take notes on what he just said. That's something so key. What you just actually talked about. Some key takeaways. What do you think about this great event that's going on right now?
It's fun. I mean,
with a threat that they said there was going to be a hurricane.
Yeah, right. So, Jesus,
it
is. It's coming down. Jesus is more of a tropical storm.
But they were saying for a moment,
dude, I was nervous. I mean, my wife was monitoring it. My team was saying, "Hey, are we doing this?" Thank God it took a huge turn, dogleg right, and went out to sea. But we all made it here, and I think the beauty of this is that, think about it. Where else can you have people from as far away as LA to Alaska to New Jersey to Florida all coming together and converging? And I think, another thing that you and I always talk about from Mike is you want to be strong and effective, hang around strong and effective people.
Correct.
And this is that great collaboration. It's sharing, it's inspiring one another to do better. And that's the real takeaway at events like this is you're always trying to level yourself up. And there's so many people to follow around here.
I love it. I'll end it with this because I know I like to have fun. So I got to ask you 5 key questions.
Yeah, go for it.
Rapid fire, right? So what's your favorite movie?
Favorite movies probably, so if I had to go back to my younger self, I'm a big Star Wars guy.
Oh, okay.
I had all the characters when I was little, so that's my
Star Wars.
Sci-fi.
The original one.
The original.
All right.
Right? And I could do Empire Strikes Back too, but Goodfellas. I'm a New Jersey guy. If you're a mob movie guy, it's the classic, right? A lot of bad language in there, but it's.
I have a T-shirt. I rock it sometimes with my suit. I go to the office with it. Love that movie. Favorite part of the world that you haven't visited that you would like to?
Oh boy, there's so many of them. I've visited a lot of incredible places, from safari in South Africa to just this year, I was with one of our great partners in Istanbul in Turkey, which is truly incredible. I have to say the place that I want to get to that I haven't, that's probably got to be on the list. One is my homeland. My father is Polish. His mother was from there. So Poland I'd like to get to eventually. And I'd also, believe it or not, actually, I'm going to put 3 on there. China, I'd like to get to. We have a huge presence in China. In fact, Harry Liu, our operator there, invited me. They wear the gold jacket, loud and proud.
I've been wanting to get one.
Loud and proud. And thousands at their conference. And then the last place, which we have partners in as well, which I heard is unreal. But Greece, I'd like to get to Greece at some point. Have you been to any of those?
Negative.
Yeah. One day, we'll see.
I think the only thing the closest I got into when you went to Small World Disneyland, that's probably the closest I got into. Someone that you would have loved to meet, or you'd love to meet now, past, present, future, past or present.
I'd probably have to put that at my I only met one grandparent. I met my mother's father. I knew him only till a very young age. But I'd love to meet my grandparents, you know, I mean.
So we have that in common.
Yeah.
Never met any of my
Never,
grandparents.
really?
Never.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, I heard it through one of my cousins. He gave me a story, and I looked at him like, wait, you met my grandpa? He's looking at me like, what do you mean you never met him?
Yeah.
No. So, yeah.
Life's short, man. I mean, it's like, you know, for anybody who's watching, and, you know, whether it's your mom or your grandparents or whoever it is, you know, cherish it because, you know, some people never get the chance. So.
True. Lastly, I know you're a very avid runner. You're a triathlon athlete. Are you doing anything coming up soon?
So, believe it or not, for the last couple of years, I've done a 70.3, the half Ironman. Friends of mine here, you know Greg Harrelson.
Yes.
Him and a couple of his teammates did it here in Augusta, but I had to come to this event. It just didn't work out. Long story short, I'm signed up for it. And you might have to give me pointers on this because you might have done one of these. I'm signed up for an ultra in January right here in Myrtle Beach. Now, here's the key, and I've never done this, so there's a strategy. So you can go 100 plus. It's 24 hours, and it's the same mile and a half loop over and over. You can put your tent out, you can take a break, you can do 25, you could do 50, you could do 100, whatever it is, but you do the same loop. And so there's got to be a strategy. I got to figure it out. I've never trained for something like this. It's in January.
I have a perfect guy that could actually give you a strategy. He's actually, how old is Ruperto? 60? He came in first in his age group.
Really?
He does 100 miles.
Wow.
He's beating David Goggins.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Great.
ridiculous.
And then you see the guy. That guy has this phenomenal, crazy story. I'll talk to you after we finish recording. I could probably link you up with him. He'll give you some strategies.
I'd love to.
That's probably me being a psychopath. I think I was just talking to one of my friends. We were running. I said, look, I think I just run 50 miles at this moment.
Wait, what?
I think I just take off and run at a sexy pace. I think I have it in me already.
Really?
Yeah.
So come do it in January. Come with us.
My wife might kill me because she's listening to me. Like, she always tells me, why aren't you a normal human being?
January 24th, 25th. Sign up.
I might be talking to you. I think we're on to something.
It's a bunch of your buddies. They're all Century 21 guys who are doing it.
It's his fault.
Bad influence.
Mike, thank you so much for the time. I know that you're a busy man, but thank you so much for investing it wisely with us.
Thanks for your
I wish you
leadership,
nothing but the best for you and your family, and continue to be a great inspiration for all of us. Wish you the best of
Appreciate
success
you, brother.
and great health. Make it happen.